Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So yes, I'm here to talk a little bit about the EJP SOIL, European Joint Programme SOIL towards climate smart and sustainable management of agricultural soils. So it's an ongoing program. So to present it, it's an ongoing program that started in 2020 and will end in 3 months, so very soon. That Associate is a co-fund program of target-oriented research in this field that is co-funded by the Commission, 40 million, and by institutes from 24 countries, another 40 million euro. And in the consortium, you see it's widely distributed across Europe from the south to north gradient, and there are 46 universities or research institutes involved. In this type of program, what is performed are a diversity of activities that we present with this knowledge framework: knowledge development, sharing and transfer, knowledge harmonization, organization and storage, and knowledge application. In fact, it corresponds to roadmaps, stock takes. We did a lot of systematic inventories of the state of play across Europe on a diversity of questions, research projects. I will present them. Interactions with stakeholders, our dissemination, training and capacity building, a lot of investment on soil information to go towards fair data, but analyzing what are the existing and what are the possibilities of harmonizing existing soil databases and existing soil monitoring systems, and knowledge application, research infrastructure, decision support tool, and essentially science to policy. So we have implemented a series of research projects. You see them here on different top themes: sustainable soil management, climate change mitigation, climate change adaptation. Oops. Okay. No, that's the second. Yeah, climate change adaptation, assessing and monitoring, and fostering adoption. You see different colors, so there are what we call our internal projects. They are members of the consortium, and we also convinced external research funders to finance research projects that would align with our roadmap, but for which we would pay for the organization of the calls and they would pay for the research. And these are what we name the external research projects, and they appear here in gray beige. So they are, it's 26 plus 18 projects, and I know that several of you are involved or even leading internal or external research projects. So a very large research portfolio. And, well, I would love to present you results, research results. We have no time for that, so I decided to present, in a nutshell, some achievements. So I think first, research results, integrated research results, because they are in a roadmap, they're in a framework, and we are currently working on the synthesis of these research results. I would like again to insist on the existence of these stock takes, and I think they can be used in a diversity of instances because it really gives you the baseline, the state of play in Europe. Another achievement is the capacity building of young scientists towards via PhD schools, via short visits. We implemented what we named national hubs. We did that based on existing committees of soil stakeholders in a few countries, or created them de novo. And these national hubs had as a mandate to voice national needs, for example, and national preoccupations, but also to interact with us, give us feedback on the program. And this has proven to be very instrumental in the development of the program. I think one of the largest achievements is the harmonization of soil information. I will come back to that, but also research infrastructures with long-term experiments. Some investment also at the science to soil advisors interface, and quite a strong investment at the science to policy interface. Actually, it was not planned at the start, but there was the carbon farming, carbon removals and carbon farming regulation that came out. So we have contributed to it, giving it feedback, and the proposal for a European directive on soil monitoring and resilience, and we have been pretty much involved at this interface, giving feedback at different instances, and even, yes, our results, some of our results have been taken up in the proposal. And something that I have not written, but for me, one of the biggest achievements is the building up of a community. So the building up of a community, why is it important? Well, because it's nice to work in a community, first. It's important for young scientists, because it's, I would say, favorable environment for them to grow up, to make up their own network. And it proves to be very useful when you want to make a synthesis on different topics from different projects. And even research community can turn into a task force. And that's in several instances. This happened for the Soil Monitoring Directive, where we have been asked at very short notice, could you do that? Yes. We could recruit colleagues and answer to the demands from the Commission or from the Belgian presidency at one stage of the negotiations of the law. So 3 snapshots, just examples. So this one, we have built a metadata of long-term experiments in Europe on agricultural soils. So Amici de la Haye will present a poster lately, but here, this database has been taken up by Bonares, the German research program on soils, and it will be taken up by EUSO, the European Soil Observatory. So the objective is really that most, if not all, long-term and mid-term field experiments in Europe are registered there, so that you can have access to the metadata, and identify the long-term that they are used for research. So, and regarding data, data is not yet there, but we are depositing data sets and are writing data papers to, well, progressively feed this with, couple that with data. But this is kind of difficult in many cases. Regarding soil harmonization, soil information harmonization, what I would like to present, because it might be useful for you, is that we develop tools for managing and sharing soil information so that data sets are stored in permanent repositories. From that, they can be used and linked to the European soil observatories, all research results, but also results from, for example, national inventories. Series of tools are, for example, a wiki with guidance on soil data provisioning options, template for standard, this I don't understand really, relational database model, code list, the ontology, extremely important to find the data, to be able to transfer and exchange data. AGO package that is INSPIRE compliant, so INSPIRE is the regulation regarding data. It has been, it is very poor for soils so far, so we propose this tool to progress that, and a metadata soil catalog that is now populated with more than 550 metadata from data sets that are from our own activity, our research projects, but also national data sets. And again, the idea is to be able to find the data, to use the data at different scales. And regarding that, so there's a metadata catalog. Regarding that, this metadata catalog is taken up currently by another project, so the SoilWise project, and will go into the European Soil Observatory. And you might be interested, an analysis of existing carbon farming schemes, a web platform where different carbon farming schemes worldwide are compared. You can consult that. After, on the short term, we have secured from institutes some support and budget for a few activities in the next 2 years, including annual science days next year. But the context is that there is now the EU mission on soil health, a soil deal for Europe. It has been created 3 years ago. It will last until 27, 28. It is huge, €1 billion, so really huge. Diversity of activities, again. One thing, yes, I noticed that this didn't come at all so far in these days of the FairCarboN program. One of their aims is to set 100 living labs on soil health. So what interaction between FairCarboN and the living labs in France to be explored. What to say also about them? So huge research budget. There will still be 2 to 3 calls. There are currently 50 research projects, and the link to EJP SOIL, 1 or 2 more minutes. The link to EJP SOIL is that we have subsets of our consortium have elaborated proposals, have been financed, for example, benchmarks on soil health indicators, and we have incubated proposals. PrepSol, Marvic, that is on MRV for carbon farming, SoilWise, about this repository of soil information. Still, in the SOIL mission, there is nothing about integration and synthesis, nothing about support to committees of stakeholders and science to policy interface, so we're trying to influence them so that they bring this forward, and we're ready to play a role if needed. And I think Suzanne will talk about it. The mission is to make up their program, their research program, is asking several entities to develop roadmaps. It's a bit messy because there are different roadmaps, but well, the ORCASA is elaborating a strategic research agenda. The EJP SOIL has elaborated, and it's under review, a 10-year roadmap on climate-smart and sustainable soil management. And the SOLO project is elaborating 9 roadmaps for different soil degradation. So I think it's important that we contribute if we want the topics we think are important to be in the calls. And on that, I will stop.
Perfect. Thank you very much.